We'll start the program in a couple minutes with Kyle Miller. This dude is A-plus people. His second rodeo here at our studio on Market Street in downtown Charlottesville. And every time, the second time, had a couple of good meetings with him in between the first time and this time. Every time I meet with this guy, I feel enlightened. I mean that, Kyle. Compelled to do stuff, educated, energized. The man just has a vision that is rare and has a nose for opportunity. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
You would describe yourself that way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You find opportunity.
Find opportunity.
Yeah. He is very willing to take risk. Now, they're not crazy risks. They're risks that he's assessed the collateral damage and the pros and cons, and he's like, I'm okay with it, and let's move. And he pretty much, very much embodies the entrepreneur spirit. So I think you're going to enjoy the next hour of this show. Vanessa Parkhill, wait till you hear the first topic we're talking about. So Vanessa is in the accounting business.
Okay. So she's
bookkeeping business, helping a lot of businesses, small, medium-sized businesses, keep good track of records.
Yes.
So this is exactly Vanessa Parkhill, if you want to write down a name here. Wait till you hear what he has to say here, Vanessa, and how this could potentially apply to some of your clients, because I don't think a lot of people know what Kyle's about to talk about here. So entrepreneurs that are watching the program, you're going to want to take note about what Kyle Miller is about to tell you. If you're an entrepreneur, if you work for an entrepreneur, if you're a small business owner, if you have a small business owner in the family, James Watson, if you're watching the program here, anybody that fits this mold, Kyle's about to drop knowledge bombs straight out of the gates that are going to be bombs that I don't think many of us have heard so far that seem like low-hanging fruit.
Oh, it's super low.
I would characterize it that way.
Yeah, low.
So whether you're watching on Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook, give the show a like and a share and engage with the program. Judah Wickhauer is our fabulous director. We'll start this program in T-minus 45 seconds. J-Dubs, are you feeling pretty good over there, homie? Okay. I need about 10 seconds, and then we can rock and roll. We'll welcome Richmond, Virginia to the program. Our friends in Lynchburg and in Northern Virginia, welcome to the program. Give the show a like and a share. Hello, Virginia Beach. Hello, Charlotte, and welcome to the show. Hello, Sean Walden, and welcome to the show. I'm good, J-Dubs. Things are looking good here. Guys, welcome to the I Love CVille show. My name is Jerry Miller. Thank you kindly for joining us. Of course, we're live in Charlottesville, across Central Virginia, the Commonwealth, the country, and the world on the I Love CVille network. The network is powered by Ting Fiber Internet. Crazy fast internet is Ting Fiber Internet. The internet and ISP that powers the Macklin Building, our building in historic downtown Charlottesville. Today's show presented by Skooma Boutique Dispensary on the downtown mall. Skooma Boutique Dispensary, the best dispensary in Charlottesville, and our good friend Scott Wagner at Scott Wagner Integrated Medicine. Who's got your back? Dr. Wagner at Scott Wagner of Scott Wagner Integrated Medicine undoubtedly has your back. Scott Aaronworth, the Esquire from Virginia Beach. Get ready to hear what Kyle Miller has to say here. Entrepreneurs watching the program, you're going to want to take notes on what Kyle Miller is about to offer on today's show. This is going to apply to potentially family, neighbors, yourselves as business owners, small and medium-sized businesses trying to survive this pandemic we call COVID, that I certainly hope is heading to the bottom of the ninth inning. Now, if we can just get the the global American news cycle to identify that as well. That's a topic perhaps for later in the show with Mr. Kyle Miller. Judah Wickower is our director. Let's go to the two-shot and let's welcome the entrepreneur, the risk taker, the visionary, the father, the husband, Kyle Miller to the show. Good afternoon.
What's up, Jerry? How you doing today?
It's great to have you. I'm doing well.
Dude, I'm excited to be on here. I really am. I'm super excited. One, because I'm an entrepreneur and I like to make money, but also I like helping people. And I just wanted to share like this. I have never seen anything like this, right? It's crazy. So I'm excited to get into what I want to talk about.
Why don't I'll get out of your way. Set the stage. The show is yours.
So you've heard of the PPP, right?
Sure.
All the COVID stuff, everything with businesses, the shutdowns and all of that going on. Well, now, and it's been don't make me think it's like it just started, but it's been available, but they've been changing the way it works. And so now companies are able to get cash for retaining employees throughout this COVID pandemic. And it's pretty wild. Companies are able to get up to $26,000 per employee if they're retained throughout this pandemic, which I think is fascinating, right? It's a credit. So like the PPP was a loan, right?
Uh-huh.
So if you had business, you had W-2 employees, you were able to qualify for this loan. They'd get the loan, and originally it was a payback loan, but then it was kind of like, hey, you don't have to pay it back.
Forgiven.
Yes. So now this is a credit. It's called ERC. So if you look it up, you can find it online. I'm not the only one that does this or has sharing this information, but it's called an ERC, right? Employee Retainment Credit.
Okay.
And so what this does is it goes by quarter, so up to $26,000 per employee that they're able to get back in the form of a tax credit, employee payment credit.
Okay.
And then if your credits, if your employee taxes are less than what your credit is, you get that back in the form of a refund check from the IRS.
The delta is refunded by the IRS
Yes.
to the business owner.
To the business owner, yes.
Okay, I'm with you.
Absolutely. And so, like, we've just seen an explosion. One of my buddies is running this company, and it's pretty happy. He's pretty phenomenal with it. If you guys can talk to your CPAs, and they can share this information with you. I wanted to come onto your shows because I know you've connected with a lot of employers here in Charlottesville. You're with a lot of entrepreneurs, business owners, etc., that deal with employees that provide families with meals and opportunities, right? And so, your one the other day, your post with Freestyle closing in March, like, how many other businesses are going out of credit that could use this cash, right? So, like, take for example, if your company, especially restaurants are hit hard.
Sure.
They're going to be able to qualify for this, no problem. So this is on top of everything else that they've gotten.
So Vanessa Parkhill watching the program, yes, the ERC, one of my clients has met the criteria and has taken advantage of this credit. Vanessa Parkhill, who's in accounting and manages a portfolio of businesses.
Yeah.
Earlysville's finest, Vanessa Parkhill. All right, let's go layman's gets here. Okay. First thing we need to identify is the W-2 versus the W-9 difference. And who it applies to.
Yes.
What kind of employees it applies to first?
These are W-2 employees.
Okay. These are W-2 employees.
Yes, not 1099s, not independent contractors.
Yeah.
These are W-2 employees.
Okay.
Also applies to business owners. If you own 100% of your business and you are an employee of your business, you don't qualify. But if you own 50% or less of your business and you're a W-2 out of that, you pay yourself, you qualify, right? And so I printed out some questions because I knew we'd have some stuff like this.
And they're coming in.
So one example, a restaurant. So this is issues with how it all works. So a restaurant must close or limit on-site dining. This is seeing if you're qualified. On-site dining, such as having to close down every other table due to COVID restrictions. A business needs to meet with clients in person and has to cancel meetings due to COVID restrictions. A business has to reduce the operating hours because of COVID restrictions. A business had delayed production, timelines caused by supply chains. A business with planned event has to cancel that event or restrict the amount of people who can attend those events. Those are just some examples of companies and people that own businesses that will qualify.
So that's a lion's share.
A what?
That's a lion's share during COVID.
Oh,
a hell of a lot.
It's almost every company.
Yeah.
Right. And so if you think what we've done through our website, and you can honestly talk to your CPA guy on this, but we've done on our website that we're working on, that we have up, you can go in there and it takes about 10 minutes to go through. It asks you specific questions. Did you have this? Did you have this? Yes, no. Yes, no questions. Did you have more revenue, less revenue? All of it, right? And that kind of gets you qualified with these qualification questions. And at the end, if you qualify, boom, we can get you going and get started. I've seen this a lot. And it's up to $26,000 per employee right now, right? The average that we're seeing right now is like 16 grand because it goes by quarter. So it's pretty exciting, man. I heard about it. I've known about it since last November and have kind of not really done anything with it. But when I really talked to my guy last week, and he said, man, this is just amazing for companies.
Dallas Hardcastle giving you props. James Watson
Dallas?
says, this is awesome to learn. Questions coming in from Richmond and from Crozet as we speak.
Yeah.
Questions coming from Fairfax. Scott Aaronworth in Virginia Beach. Jerry, did he say if you own 100% of your business and you paid yourself as an employee that you are not eligible?
You're not eligible, but if he has other employees, so if he's the 100% owner of the company and then he's the only employee, then he's probably not going to qualify, right? But if he has other employees, then yes, he wouldn't qualify, but the other employees would qualify.
Good clarification. Keep the questions coming in here. Vanessa Parkhill, if there's anything you'd like to add to the broadcast, we very much value perspective, and please put it in the feed. Kyle Dallas says, go get him, champ, and is giving you emoji after emoji right now.
Oh, he's an awesome dude, man.
We got folks on Twitter watching outside Nashville as we speak. Why is this not more common in the business owner's vernacular or vocabulary?
What, this program? Well, one, it just started with when COVID hit, right? And it's been out for a while, right? But they've been changing some of the stipulations. That used to be, they had certain restrictions on who qualified for this. And now they've kind of opened it up. And so that's, if you have any concerns or any questions about this stuff, like, guys, if you're listening right now, drop like, hey, I'm interested, I want more information. And I can send you links to this stuff. I'll go back through after the show here, and we'll go through it all, and I will share that information so you can get the exact stuff that I'm talking about. And you can actually go onto the website and even just try. 10 minutes will get you figured out if you are qualified.
What do you see in most of the businesses, or you hear in most of the businesses so far that fit this model? No,
so construction companies, restaurants, anybody that's been affected. Really, it's a lot. A lot of businesses qualify. Like, for example, the company that we're with right now, 2,167 businesses have been reached currently. They've gotten $382 million worth of credits, almost $383 million worth of credits, and 43,340 employees. So that's the amount of help that we're doing, that we're helping with this.
He's bringing knowledge, guys, to a topic that I think needs attention. That's why we welcomed him on the show. Questions already coming in as we speak. What is so here's a good one from Steven, who's watching in Richmond. You mentioned $16,000 is average, the credit. How about the refund? What is the average refund that you are seeing?
No, that's the
average refund?
Well, it's based on employees, right?
Okay.
So whatever, how many employees you have for your company is going to be what it's going to get. But what they're seeing is an average of $16,000 per employee. So take that out for your business. You can run the numbers.
Ashley Clark Ward, hello. Erin King Miller, your beautiful wife?
Oh, there she is.
She's watching the program. Comments, keep them coming in. James Watson, I'm curious of your perspective on any of this as well. What are your thoughts on, let's throw this. This is a very straightforward, pointed question. You're an entrepreneur, risk taker.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on essentially government credits for given loans and subsidies for businesses. This is a topic that is touchy. Some of the businesses that were destined to close anyway,
Yeah.
because the model was not efficient, didn't have enough customers.
Yeah.
We're getting second and third lives,
Okay.
courtesy of the federal government,
Yeah.
and otherwise still closed.
Yeah.
Should government jump in and help save or resuscitate entrepreneurs, or is this survival of the fittest? What's the entrepreneur you follow? Lions, not sheep.
Oh, Sean Whalen?
Yeah,
Yeah.
lions, not sheep.
Yeah.
Should that have been the mentality, or were you okay with government jumping in and helping save a lot of businesses out there?
Well, so
And we got plenty of time to dig into this.
No, it's very touchy, right? It should, in the grand scheme of capitalism, it's nobody help. You run your own business. You either survive or you die, right? But then we had, if you remember, not just in this time of the COVID pandemic, but also the bailouts from all the other times, right? And so what was happening with that, right? Those companies were doing the same thing. Those companies were over leveraged. Those companies were out there pushing and creating this stuff. And actually, I would say, we can go down a long rabbit hole with how they run their companies and where the money goes and how manipulation of the stock market happens, right? But then they automatically get billions of dollars to run their companies, i.e., was it American Airlines, all the airline companies. They get all these refunds, they get these credits, they get all this stuff. Like now this is coming down to the small business owner. Actually the small business owner is getting help in this process, which I think that's, it's more of a fair stance than it is than what
More
it was
equitable.
before. Yeah. So I think
Johnny Ornelas is watching. He owns El Mariachi in Guadalajara.
Oh yeah.
Watching the program, the restaurateur.
Oh, he would qualify massively for this. And I don't know how. I mean, he's got 3 or 4 restaurants.
He's got Guad JPA and El Mariachi Zion's Crossroads, and his family owns the Guad brand, Guadalajara brand.
Yeah. So he would qualify.
He owns the two though, the Guad JPA and El Mariachi Zion's.
Yeah. So he would qualify. All of his employees would probably qualify for
More questions coming in.
Yeah.
James Watson. James himself an entrepreneur. His wife an entrepreneur.
Yep.
His wife owns one of the best salons in the area.
Yep.
If a business retained W-2 employees through most of the pandemic,
Yep.
but had to lay people off initially due to forced closure during the first 3 months, can they still qualify? Can a business qualify for 2020 and 2021, both years? Good questions.
Yes. And it's done by quarter. So you're going to be able to get you're going to be able to get the credits done per quarter. It goes quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, right? And so the answer to that is yes. You may not get the whole 26 grand, right? You may qualify for 12, or you may qualify, whatever it is, per quarter for each employee. So the answer to that is yes.
Kimberly asks, what's the potential pitfalls here? We all saw pitfalls with PPP. Are there any pitfalls here? Robert Cable, welcome to the broadcast.
The pitfalls is not being able to get the money, because with the PPP, when they originally started, it was very clunky. It was very hard to get it. And then what they did is they pushed it out to the banks and syndicated it, and then gave the banks a percentage to push it out faster. That was a loan. That's how the banks did it. With this program, they're kind of leaving it up to the CPAs and things to do this, and the CPAs are just bogged down. They can't get through this stuff, especially with the workload that they already have. You go talk to a CPA right now, they're there from 4 a.m. till midnight.
Sure.
With everything going on.
Sure.
And so to add this to their workload is it's a lot. And then do that per employee, per company, it's a lot.
Our friends on LinkedIn, jump in the broadcast, and if you have any questions, please ask Kyle Miller. Noel Jurgensen, welcome to the show. Dusty Christensen, welcome to the show. 4 states on the broadcast here with Kyle Miller, the entrepreneur. Throw this to you. We're in 2022.
Yep.
March is 2 years of COVID.
Yeah.
Why don't we start with that?
Okay.
That spoke 10,000 words right there from Kyle Miller.
Yeah.
2 years of COVID, that topic for you.
2 years of COVID. I mean,
Be real.
all right, I'll be real. I think it's blown up, right? That's my personal opinion. I think they've scared a lot of people. Now, don't get me wrong. I think COVID is real. I think it's real. I'm not one of the ones saying COVID's not real.
Your wife's a nurse, right?
She was. She's not.
Yeah.
Yes, she was a nurse. I retired her, so she's taking care of our boys now. But I think there's a lot of unanswered questions that are not out to the public that we know about, and I think there was a huge scare on things. I thought it was pretty wild that in 2018 our flu numbers were X, and in 2019 our flu numbers were like non-existent. And so I look at that, and like I said, I'm not saying COVID's not real. I'm just saying that maybe there were some. I mean, they've come out with things now that said they've gone back and then changed numbers. Cases is just, the narrative isn't straight. I don't think. I don't see a straight line in something that's like somebody can sit down and go, yeah, that's exactly how it happened. I think it changes.
Do you think this is something that will continue momentum into midterm elections? Do you think this is something that will continue momentum as we've eclipsed January, post-holidays, when we knew a spike would happen due to New Year's, Christmas, Hanukkah, and holiday get-togethers? Mm-hmm. Or, I mean, we're seeing a new variant.
Yeah.
On the horizon. I mean, where does it stop? Do you ask yourself that question?
Yeah, I mean, ask that stuff. Yes, I ask myself that all the time. But then I'm just gonna live my life. I'm tired of people telling me what to do, how to do it, how to live my life. I'm just gonna live it, and let the chips fall where they may. I'm not gonna walk around scared. I'm not gonna do it.
What do you say to the folks that say that could be insensitive?
Insensitive to who?
Fair response.
Are they being sensitive to my feelings about it? No. I treat people with respect if they want to do
You're a golden rule guy.
Yeah. Like, listen, if you want to do that, great. I'm not going to say anything. But you can't tell me what I need to do. I completely, no, that's not going to happen.
How did it impact the businesses that you're a part of? So you are a talented and successful. This guy is crushing it with real estate. Okay, I'm going to brag about you a little bit here. Okay, he flips single family houses. Mm-hmm. He has a rental portfolio that's vast. That's fair.
Yeah.
A vast rental portfolio. He's earned it.
Yeah. He's
made it. Military serviceman, Army.
Yes.
If memory serves correctly.
Yes.
Thank you for your service.
Yes.
Fluvanna County High School product.
I am.
From memory serves, pretty badass football player at one time.
Yeah, it was.
Was it a linebacker?
That was free safety.
A free safety? Hard-hitting free safety. Did you go straight out of high school into the Army?
No, I went to college, and then after college went to the Army.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then out of the Army back home?
Essentially, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So, dude, you've seen a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Been around a lot of people.
How did these two years in March impact things for you? Business-wise first.
Business-wise. So what was crazy back in 2019 when this thing all started, I moved everything out of an office aspect of it and put them in the houses. And so what we do is we call sellers, and sellers call us to buy houses. So I moved everybody into their house. Everybody had internet. Everybody was doing it. And because I want to build a lifestyle, right? I don't want to sit there and like be a slave to coming into the office every single day. I hate it, so I'm not going to do it, right? And so I took that and we started building on that and getting it straight. And I did that basically for probably 5 or 6 months before COVID hit. And so for us, it never really slowed down anything as far as operations that were happening. And so I felt pretty fortunate about that because before we had people coming into the office and doing everything from there. So we took everybody home, and then I managed from there and just did our KPIs and made sure numbers were being hit and contracts were getting signed and things like that. So as far as like when it first happened, I don't think it changed anything. Now, what it's changed after that is that the not knowing what was going to happen. I just said, I took a calculated risk, right? I knew I had a certain amount of funds set away, and I said, well, let's see where this goes, and I'm just going to push on marketing even more, because now everybody's at home, everybody's sitting there, not knowing what's going to happen. My marketing is going to reach them, because that's where I market to them anyway.
So you have a captive audience.
Yeah. And so I just started pushing even further, harder, should I say, and started getting more calls and just building it up from there. We hired 4 people throughout that process. Throughout COVID, we hired 4 people on the team here in the States and hired 5 people from overseas for our virtual assistants.
The pivot you did is characterized how? How would you characterize your pivot? Because that was the cliche. I mean, it's a cliche now. Mm-hmm. That was the word of COVID.
Yeah, the pivot.
Yeah. How'd you pivot?
I mean,
you identified it.
Yeah.
In part there.
Yeah. I want to build this thing. I want to build all of my things on a lifestyle. And so I knew the way I was running it before is not the way I needed to run it in the future. And so that's what made me pivot from there. Because a lot of times we think that in life and also in business that we've done it this way the whole time. This is the only way it can happen. It's not true. You know, and I think with COVID and the way they pushed everybody home, then the working from home became normal, right? Like nobody going into offices, nobody doing
now
all
it's
that
almost
stuff.
The expectation.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I'm at home. Hey, great. And so before I was getting contracts signed, even before COVID, I've been doing this for the last 3 or 4 years, just on the phone. And we've done this for so long now. I know what the costs are going to be. I know if the house is going to be X, a house is 1,500 square feet, 2,800 square feet. I know what it needs. If it needs flooring, windows, roof, siding, HVAC, plumbing, appliances, cabinets, all that stuff. I've got it all built out. I know how much it's going to cost. I can estimate it from there. We would get it under contract from there and then go out and just verify that the seller told us everything that was correct. Sometimes they don't. And go from there.
Mark Evans giving you props.
What's up, Mark?
Cheska, where's she watching?
She's in the Philippines.
Batangas?
Yeah.
That's the Philippines.
Yeah.
She's watching you in the Philippines as we speak and giving you some props right now. Yvette Okros. Yvette, I might be messing up your last name. She's a Fluvana agent.
Yep.
Giving you some props. Gary Lanham giving you some props. Robert Cable giving you some props. 5 states on the feed right now, and it sounds like a couple of countries. How are you still bullish? Are you still all in poker analogy, single family detached flipping homes? Because last time we had you on here, you were balls to the wall with it.
Yeah, we're still pushing, right? We're still doing our stuff. The hardest part right now is being able to help the people that need to be able to help. We're getting, just the other day, we talked to a seller who was just had this crazy contract from these other people that was like a 60-day due diligence, not including the weekends, not including holidays, and would close 30 days after that, not including weekends, not including holidays. So what are we talking about? Like a 6-month contract, it looked like. And this guy's in a panic and can't sell his house because he's under contract with him. And so just the stuff that we have to deal. So it's getting harder and harder. Everybody thinks that this real estate game is easy and can go out there and find houses and whatever. And the key is, it's not about the deal. It's about the relationship with the seller and actually caring about them and helping them through the process and moving forward. I let them know up front, we need to make a profit on this deal. I understand, in the position that you're in, and I'm going to try to help you get through that. So sometimes it's not just about the dollars. It's about helping the people.
Maurice Covington, the now getting seasoned agent.
Yeah.
Relatively new to the game. Now Mo Covington, very seasoned. Maybe the sharpest dressed realtor in Carr.
Yeah, he is.
Christopher Eagle's up there, Mo Covington. Matt Neese is up there, Mo Covington. But Maurice Covington, dude, you flossing, dog.
Yeah.
Kyle, you and I will do more than 20 deals this year, says Mo Covington. Mo Covington's come on the show before. He's A+ people. So is the reason you are not as, and I want to pick the right word, as you're still bullish on single-family detached flipping.
Yeah.
but maybe not at the same clip as the last time you were on, because of how expensive it's gotten and because of how little inventory is on the market?
Well, expensive is relative, right? And when I say that, yes,
Fair.
it's expensive. Our market has seen an increase in prices of houses. Right?
And your market is defined by what? Central Virginia?
Central Virginia, yeah. Our market has seen an increase in prices, but we've also seen more money printed into this market. So it's not necessarily the price of the house, it's the devaluation of the dollar. That's where I think that the prices have increased over time, where we're at right now. Because we just printed, how much money have we just printed?
A boatload.
I can't even tell you exactly off the top of my head, but it's been like way more.
So Gary Palmer, hello, Avenue, welcome to the broadcast. So you're like, we created inflation ourselves. I know you got a take on inflation.
That's what we're in right now. That's why the prices are where they're at. And that's why the interest rates are going to start ticking up. So that's the other part where we might see houses stagnate at this price, maybe go down a little bit because of affordability, right? Because all houses are sold on payments. There's people out there paying cash for stuff, but the majority of houses are sold on payments. And so we have to keep it in that range of where people were able to afford it.
Does these inflationary times terrify you, or is it something that as supply chains relax and as people get back to working, that this is going to be, transient?
So, yes, no. You have like all this types of mindsets, right, going on. I try to be of abundance mindset. Sometimes you can fall back and get kind of like, oh, what's going to happen? But listen, it's going to happen no matter what. This whole thing is a game that we're playing, so we just got to be able to figure out how to play this game. And so once we figure out, and that's just by knowledge, right? We knowledge up, we figure out what's happening, how do we play that, how do we get in front of things, and I think that's the whole thing.
What's the new game you're going to play?
Businesses. I like businesses.
So you're alluding, I don't want to assume, that's why I'm asking, is that you like businesses, that you're almost a micro private equity firm?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Where we can go in, and whether it's, right now we're going through the baby boomers retiring, right? Their families don't want to pick up the family business. They've spent the last 30, 40 years building up a really good business, a really solid business. They have good clients. They have all that, right? And so now they don't have anybody to give it to. So what are they going to do? Just let it die?
Right.
And so, maybe they're not big enough for private equity to come in and purchase it.
And a lot of people don't want to purchase businesses that are so tied to the founding or second generation entrepreneur.
Right. Now, see, that's where I'm coming in, that I want to...
You don't mind that?
That I want to be involved with.
Okay.
As long as we have employees, as long as there's revenue coming in, as long as he's not the head decision maker, or maybe there's ways to figure something out, or she. I'm not saying it's not a sexist thing. But, and then come in and grow from there. Take a different mindset, and maybe do that, maybe it complements something else that I have going on, put those two together and expand from there.
Okay, so give me a case study. Kyle Miller, okay, I'm gonna again give you some props here. Kyle Miller has done well for himself.
Yeah.
And he has freaking earned it.
Yeah.
Okay. You've done well for yourself.
Yeah.
Got some rental properties, some passive income.
Yeah.
Got it. Sounds like, and you don't obviously have to tell us this, a good cash position.
Yeah.
And you could potentially invest into some businesses,
right,
and optimize, create some efficiencies, obviously keep equity and percentages of revenue for yourself.
Yep.
Give me a case study of how this works.
Well, let me just also put this out there.
Okay.
For the last 5 years, I've built relationships with people.
Sure.
I've built relationships with other business owners. I build relationships with guys that have money. I build relationships with, a lot of different people, a lot of successful people. And so this whole game is a relationship. And I say game, when I say game,
you mean life. Yeah, you mean life.
Right? Yeah. It's life.
Right.
And so this whole thing of relationships is being able to connect, right? Connect this person. Hey, you want to sell a business? Oh, I know this guy that...
that certainly has value, and that certainly should create a piece of the pie for you if you have that relationship. I'm completely in agreement with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
No difference than a realtor.
No, there's
no difference than a banker.
No, That's
a
it.
sales agent.
When people go in to get a loan from the bank, what they're talking to the loan agent, right? The loan agent is representative of the bank.
For sure.
And then they get a cut off the way that they, and then guys make good money off of that.
Okay, so
Right?
that vision is maybe as an agent, as a buyer's or seller's agent of business, as a business broker.
No
Okay.
interest in being a broker.
Okay.
No, I want to actually, I want to come in and purchase. I'm not looking for just a one-off
commission.
thing. Yeah.
Okay.
I want something to build long-term wealth, cash flow. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
And help good people. I want to have good people on my team. I want to be surrounded with good people, with good intentions.
What are the ones that you like, that you're identifying, that you like?
I don't want to get
That's
too much.
That's a broad one.
Yeah.
You got a lot of people here.
So there's
Kyle.
some online companies and stuff that I'm interested in, only because it's scalable, right?
What spaces of online? What niches? PayPal is 25% down today.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fintech. They're struggles.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
struggling right now.
Yeah. I think any type of e-commerce brands that you're able to get in front of and get and build relationships with and be able to have the guys on the team. So now, like I said, the past 5 years, I've been building connections that have back ends that I could plug into to help run.
So you're talking vertical integration there.
Yes.
Someone that you've built a relationship with that has human resources, accounting,
Yes.
admin,
Yes.
all figured out. Maybe a sales team that can work remotely, that can
Yes.
drive incremental revenue worked out.
Yeah.
And then you just plug in this formula into something that already exists.
Yes. That's the online stuff. The other stuff, obviously I'm in the real estate business, right? So anything that kind of goes along with that, window companies, roofing companies, things like that. So I have that aspect where I can get my stuff done along with it. So I know it's all involved.
What's the day-to-day ideally for Kyle Miller look like?
What is the day-to-day?
Yeah.
Connecting, man. I like to connect. I feel like I built my office out of my house. I rarely come into town now.
He lives in a farm. Can I say where?
Yeah. That's fine.
He lives on a farm in Louisa.
Yep.
Okay. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I have.
He's got some acreage.
I got some acreage. I got 5 Longhorns, and then I have a mix between a Longhorn and a Black Angus. One because my female jumped the fence and went and commingled with my neighbor's bulls, and then came back.
So what is sharply dressed, handsome entrepreneur doing with some Longhorns in Louisa over here?
No. So I went to school in Fluvanna, and I would ride the bus to school, and we used to go by this field, and I used to look out, and there are probably 20 of them out there every morning. I
want one of these.
I said I want one.
So the Longhorn to Kyle Miller is like the boat to a lot of people?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
I guess so. We had a boat growing up.
So the Longhorns are not for butchering?
No, they're strictly yard art, man.
They're yard art.
Yeah.
Judah's smiling over here. They are yard art. So you named the Longhorns then?
Yeah, we have names for them. What I really like though is
art.
Yeah, what I really like is that when people drive by, we have the 3-board white fence. Just so you guys know, there's probably 1,000 foot of road frontage, and so as they're going by, people are slowing down, and they see these cows out there with these huge horns, and they're going by, they're taking pictures. The kids are hanging out the windows and going, "Hi, cows!" As they're driving by. It's pretty cool. People get out and they take pictures. So
some people have gnomes in the front yard. The Millers have yard art that are Longhorns.
Yeah, they're live.
I do respect the hustle, undoubtedly. All right, so I want to go down the investing into businesses angle.
Yeah.
Or topic line.
Okay.
So you identify, what are you basing these decisions on? You're obviously looking at balance sheets, some P&Ls.
Yeah.
You're looking at how the potential of the niche.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Which niches are you identified e-commerce? Which other ones are you very into? And then how do you sidestep the ownership management from afar? How do you manage that?
Yeah.
And then how do you also manage the uncertainty that comes with I'm choosing my words carefully. Macro media scaring the bejeebus out of people.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's
I think those are fair questions.
Let's break those questions down. The niches, I just have to be, kind of comfortable with it, and there has to be I have to be able to make $1 million out of it, like, and grow that company to make $1 million. That's what it has to be. It can't be like
you have to take the business to $1 million in gross sales.
No, net.
Net sales.
Net sales.
In a calendar year.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, it's not saying that it doesn't have to be that right now, but it has to have the potential to do that.
Okay.
Right? We have to be able to grow it to that.
Okay. And if it does not, you're not interested.
If it can't, I'm probably not as interested in it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Unless it has something to do with that's inclined with my already real estate stuff. But the reason I say that, it has to do with net $1 million, because and it goes on to one of the other questions that you said, or that you asked, was how do you manage it from afar? Well, I can't pay somebody good money to manage it if it's only doing $350,000, $500,000.
Yeah, so he's basically saying he needs an operator.
Yes.
And that operator, he's going to hire talented operators.
Yes.
And talented operators command salaries.
Yes.
And those salaries are not cheap.
Right.
So that's why he needs the margin.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm with you.
In the scale though, right?
Yeah.
And I don't have to have the lion's share of the pie.
Sure.
Like I'm definitely not, I'm not the one like pounding my chest saying, hey, I want it all, I want it all. I think that's where people get in trouble.
Totally.
Is because they think that they have to do it all and they don't rely on other people and to collaborate and use the skills of those people.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's that, I'm learning this, and I'm realizing it more and more as we go. And I see, okay, well, I can do that, or I can do that. Like I hired a project manager for my projects this year, and I went into another industry and made more money than I did in my real estate industry.
Can I ask which one?
For my real estate.
Oh, that was for real estate.
Yeah, I hired a project manager for my real estate. Yeah, my dad. I hired my dad.
Okay.
And said, Dad, I need you to run this. And he ran it.
And then you managed your dad.
I managed my dad.
Yeah.
Which is cool. We have more of a relationship now than we ever had. Like he was always doing his thing and I was doing my thing, and now we're doing our thing, right? We're doing it together. But now that allowed to free up that time that I was managing projects to do other stuff.
And what's the other stuff you're doing?
Well, I mean, with that, just in general, last year I went into crypto. And I studied crypto, I learned crypto, and then I got invested in crypto. It made more money in crypto than I did in real estate.
Dude, this guy is great. This guy is the foundation for great talk shows right here, Kyle Miller, because he has a lot of stuff on his plate here. What crypto? Talk to me about crypto.
No,
you are bullish crypto.
I'm bullish crypto. Here's the reason why. Look at where everything. Look, metaverse, right? 3.0. Sure. Like everything is going that way. Everything wants to go digital.
Okay, I'm with you.
Right?
I'm with you. I know this topic well.
This is the only other thing, and also the inflation. We can print as many dollars as we want because we're not backed by anything, except maybe our
the collapse of the American economy. We're backed by that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
we are.
Our war machine over there.
Okay.
Sitting in Norfolk Port. So that's what we're backed by, but crypto has a finite, right? And if you remember back in the day, we used to trade freaking beaver pellets, right? And so value can be placed upon anything.
That's true.
Right? And so it doesn't matter what anybody else says. If the people say that this is what we want, that's where it's going to go.
For sure.
And so it's so new, right? You can't really... It's so new that it's not mainstream yet, but you start to see people jumping on. Google employees are leaving Google to go work for Crypto.com. Crypto.com paid 24 million? No, I want to say that's too cheap. It may have been $1 billion. Look it up.
I'll look it up. Tell me what to Google.
The Arena.
Staples Center.
Yes.
Crypto, that was way more than 24 million.
Yeah.
Crypto.com, Staples
24.
Center naming rights.
Yes.
I'm Googling it right now. It was way more than that.
Yeah, it was way more. I don't remember exactly.
It's right here. Staples Center, let's see. Staples Center will be renamed for Crypto.com next month in a $700 million deal.
Yeah.
So that's the home to the Lakers, guys.
Yes. $700 million they paid for the naming rights of that building. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah. All right, let me play a little devil's advocate with you.
Okay.
And a lot of me really very much is in agreement with what you're saying, but I'm a talk show host, and I have to play devil's advocate for the sake of a conversation.
Okay.
And I'm also, I say this all the time, I identify with the party of common sense, socially liberal, fiscally conservative, and my mindset has gotten even more conservative with the birth of our son, my wife's son, our son, who's the best. You have 2 kids. He has 2 boys, guys. Crypto.
Yeah.
Can't pay your taxes with crypto.
Okay.
Crypto. For the point, at this point right now, crypto, Bitcoin, whatever, has been the preferred payment method of black market transactions.
Okay.
Now, you can say, is it El Salvador that just made it the country's currency?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a check mark in your column.
Yeah.
A check mark against your column is eventually American government is going to want control of currency and is going to say, this scares the bejeebus out of us. Let's create our own digital currency.
They are.
And they are doing that. And once that happens, then what's the future of crypto?
Okay.
Okay, so all these topics to you, and the fact that when can we go to Christian's Pizza in the downtown mall and buy a slice of pepperoni with a sliver of Bitcoin? We can't do that.
Okay.
Anywhere you want to go.
All right.
Show is yours.
So that last one, right?
Sure.
There's cards now. I think it's I don't think it's Visa. It may be Visa, but they have a charge card, like a swipe card, a Visa card, debit card, that you can use it to pay for stuff right out of your account.
Okay.
You got to have the account set up correctly, and they'll just pull it right out of that to USD value, and you can pay for it.
Okay.
One, you can't pay your taxes with Bitcoin.
You cannot.
You cannot pay your taxes with Bitcoin, but you do pay your taxes on Bitcoin.
Okay. That's true.
You do pay your gains.
I would say that's a knock against crypto. That right there.
Yeah.
So would you not say that?
It's what do you mean? It's a not?
It's a knock.
Yeah. It's that you have to pay.
That you're paying gains, you're getting taxed on your gains.
Yeah.
But you can't utilize your gains or your holdings to pay your taxes.
You can't pay your gains on art either.
Touche.
Right? There's a lot of
art is much less quantifiable in value.
Well, the reason why art is so expensive because it's 100% write-off.
He's alluding to super rich people choose to purchase art in a lot of ways to shelter money.
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah. Why do you think these pieces go for millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars?
Yeah, because it's a bidding war to see who can get the shelter advantage. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. It's not some rare painting.
And that's not a secret.
No, it's not. But a lot of people, it's not a secret, but a lot of people don't know it. They just think somebody paid $23 million, $26 million for artwork.
For Banksy's, whatever.
To go put it on their wall.
Yeah.
That's not the reason why.
So crypto, you, with the listeners that are watching right now, you'd say put your money in crypto?
Well, no, I wouldn't say just put it into any crypto. I listen, and here's the other thing. I hire people that are smarter than me. I graduated Fluvanna. Went to college. The only reason I went to college was because I had a football scholarship, right? But I went and learned something. And the biggest thing that I learned is that you need to surround yourself with smarter people.
Sure.
You need to be around people that are smarter than you, that know more than you. And it's going to be different people. It's going to be, I have business coaches. I have a crypto advisor. I have other people in my life that I look up to that have certain aspects of their life I feel dialed in. I talk to them about it, and I try to incorporate all of that into my life.
Respect.
Sometimes I'm not as successful. Like, I think that this whole IG world, right, is kind of it's kind of blown up, and
you're talking influencing.
Instagram, yeah.
Okay.
The influencing of it. I think there's a lot of, hey, I want to show you everything that's good in my life, and you can only pick and they pick and choose what they're going to show you, right? And,
the algorithm.
Yeah, well, that and the influencers themselves.
Okay.
Right,
okay.
and so they pick and choose those people or those events or those things that they want to see. But I try to be around the guys that are really doing it and really, hey, this guy's got it dialed in with his family. How can I learn from that? This guy's got it dialed in with finances. How do I learn from that?
Gary Palmer giving you props on the show. Questions for Kyle Miller, put him in the feed. George, I'm going to mess up your last name, George. I'm going to call you George K. Welcome to the broadcast. GP Gary Palmer, love what Kyle does. Why not hire quality people to grow your real estate business versus other businesses? Well, Gary Palmer asked that question. Well, that's what you have done.
Well, and
you did that with your dad.
Yeah, I did that with my dad. But there's going to be the other thing is with the flipping business, it's not scalable like it is a building business. In the building business and the new construction business, you have a set of plans, and then you send that to the project manager. The project manager manages that, and it's cut and dry. It's 1, 2, 3, done. Right? In the flip world, in the renovating and selling those properties, there's a whole lot more decisions that need to be made. Something's messed up over here. Something's messed up over here. Are we moving the floor plans? Are we doing this? Now, you can do that, but it just takes people. And so, and it takes the right people. And the barrier to entry on the flip world is very low, right? Anybody can get a loan for 50% of the value of something from somebody, right? It's just private money stuff. And then go in and do the game, right? And so the goal would be to do that, to hire somebody to run that entire business for me. It's just a little bit more difficult because of the decisions that need to be made.
Matthew Carini, watching in Montana. Man. Ask your guest about tangible assets like real estate versus assets that are in what he called the metaverse, Web 3.0. I'll add context to his comment.
Okay.
You guys should Google this. Real estate that's being sold in the metaverse now.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg. I don't know if you followed this story.
Maybe.
Snoop Dogg is posting up shop in the metaverse. And people are in bidding wars to buy the real estate around Snoop Dogg's real estate in the metaverse. Mm-hmm. Like Snoop Dogg is an undoubtedly trendsetter in reality and this alternate universe we call the metaverse. So much so that he's driving hundreds of millions of dollars of transactions around where he's posting up in the metaverse. Mm-hmm. Big brands are being first to market, spending millions of dollars buying, air quotes, beachfront property in the metaverse. Tangible assets, real estate that we can touch, like this building, versus tangible, versus I don't want to call it intangible, versus 3.0, Web 3.0 assets like real estate in the metaverse. Yeah. Where do you want to go on that topic?
Well, I think, one, that the metaverse and with Snoop Dogg, what he's doing, I think it's inevitably going that way.
You think so?
Yeah, because, I mean, look at when the internet first started, right? Mm-hmm. People were buying up .coms, right?
I own like 56 .coms.
Right.
Charlottesville, Judah knows this. You know, this was back in the day. I don't think I'm breaching. In fact, I am not breaching sale of contract because of time that's transpired, and I don't think the language. In fact, I know the language is not specifically in there. The Hook and the Sevo Weekly started Charlottesville Restaurant Week, and they were the only player on the scene.
Yep.
And because they were the only player on the scene, they were asking astronomical amounts of money for people to participate in Restaurant Week.
Yeah.
Bunch of restaurateurs approached us because they knew we had a massive following.
Yep.
And they said, will you offer an alternative restaurant week? And I noticed that the IP CharlottesvilleRestaurantWeek.com and SeaVilleRestaurantWeek.com was available.
Yep.
I purchased that for $9.99.
Yep.
We ran the iteration of Restaurant Week and had success at a fair price point.
Yep.
And then we exited to Sevo Weekly and The Hook in a strong 5-figure deal on a $9.99 purchase.
Yeah.
$9.99 purchase.
Yeah.
And that's to his point of .coms, which at one point were the beachfront property of the 2.0 internet. The Hamptons beachfront was a good .com. Now they're all purchased. Yeah. Keep going.
Well, so one of the guys in the mastermind group that I'm involved with, right? He built an internet company. I think if memory serves me correctly, I don't want to misspeak, but I think it was like more of a database aspect of it, servers stuff. But he got a website. He got .com name. He got a website, and he just got offered last August, some $200 million for it.
What is he buying? He's not buying a good example, stamps.com. Not like that, right?
It's, you know what? It's very, like stamps.com, right? It is a massive industry right now, and he has the name to that industry.
And they just bought it from him?
No, they haven't bought it from him. He wants $250.
Jeez. So he's got some leverage right there.
Yeah.
Do we know the name? You don't want to get it wrong?
No, I know the name.
Can you say it?
I don't know.
Why not?
I don't know if
you don't want to say it.
Maybe
Please say
I can
it.
get him some publicity.
You could get him publicity. That'll get him an extra buyer.
Maybe get an extra buyer.
Can you say the name?
ecommerce.com.
He owns ecommerce.com.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting on it. He's URL poaching.
Well, he's
what's it called, Judah? When you're just sitting on .coms, it's he's not squatting. I mean, it's almost it's land banking of .coms.
Yeah, he bought this thing like 15 years ago.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, how does that pertain to the metaverse?
Well, it just goes to show. And here, look at the last couple movies that's come out too, right? I just watched one the other day with my kids. It was the one. No, I didn't watch that one with him. That one with Ryan Reynolds, Good Guy, right?
Okay.
It's like this video gaming movie where people are going in and like real life experiences inside this game. It's in a city. Here's the other thing. It's all about eyeballs and where the marketing dollars are going to go.
Absolutely.
And so that's what drives the value for all this stuff. How many eyeballs is it going to get? And that's why they can put the money to it, because they're going to run ads, they're going to sell stuff off of it, and go that way.
Who would you say is the most powerful person in the world?
I don't know. I think there's probably 13 families of them.
If you had to pick one horse,
the one who has the most influence in the world, right? There's two: Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. Those two can say something, and they can drive so much traffic. Look at Shiba Inu. Whenever Elon Musk tweeted it, and Bitcoin when he tweeted it, because he's a billionaire.
Dogecoin.
Dogecoin. Whatever it is, he tweeted it, and it exploded. Look how many eyeballs that he has.
I would say, Catherine Dabney, welcome to the broadcast. 6 states, 2 countries on the show. Questions and comments for Kyle Miller, put them on the feed. Kyle Stout says, Kyle Miller has changed the outlook of my financial future. More comments coming in. We'll get to them in a matter of minutes.
Kyle Stout changed the outlook of his financial future. I just helped him put him in the right path.
Where's Kyle Stout watching? Locally? Indiana. Welcome to the broadcast. I'd say Mark Zuckerberg is the most powerful person in the world. Now, the two you've outlined, Bezos and Elon Musk, are on the short list, and those three are interchangeable.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't like Mark.
Yeah, okay, and very, very understandable why people don't like Mark Zuckerberg, 100%. But Zuckerberg has said, and I mentioned this to friends of the program off air, Zuckerberg has said that his lasting legacy will not be Facebook or Instagram or WhatsApp or Messenger, but his lasting legacy, what he will be known for centuries to come, is the metaverse. Mm-hmm. And when someone of that wealth and influence and platform says the metaverse is going to be his lasting legacy, I think that the metaverse is going to be as impactful as Kyle is saying. So the question I ask for you is this. Let's say we're just talking in hypothetical terms, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions, whatever the viewers and listeners have. Mm-hmm. People look to you for counsel. Mm-hmm. This is a tough question.
Okay.
Would you put that tens of thousands, maybe it's just thousands, maybe it's hundreds, whatever the number is, into tangible real estate, like a brick, sticks, masonite, party plank, whatever, in today's world, or the metaverse?
Well, let me do this.
Okay.
Let me play it on me, because I don't want to put it on anybody else.
Okay.
Right? If I were to come up right now in this world, and if I were starting all over again, I would be in digital completely. If I knew what I know now, I would have gone digital.
And this is a dude who made his money in real estate flipping.
I would have gone digital.
you would have, if you had the DeLorean and the flux capacitor and Doc Brown, you would have gone back and would not have done.
Yeah.
You would not have done house flipping. Instead, you would have scooped up as many .coms as possible, opened as many e-commerce as possible, and
bought Bitcoin in 2011.
Okay, so you're doing that on you because you don't want.
Yeah, I don't, because I mean
everybody's in a different financial position.
Everybody's in a different financial position, and everybody has certain different skills, right? And I'm not even that good of a digital guy, right? But I would have said, hey, this is what I want to accomplish. See, the thing is, the reason that made me go into the real estate aspect of it is because back in the early 2000s, when I was like, hey, this is kind of the direction that I want to go, is because everything up until then was. Everybody, all the millionaires, everything else made their money in real estate. That's what I was hearing. But now if you go back and look at the stats, these guys, these kids, the
Bitcoin millionaires.
Well, I mean, take away the crypto, right? These kids right now are able to go in. They've been playing video games their whole life. They know how it works. They're able to come in and completely disrupt brick and mortar businesses. Then COVID hits. Nobody's going to brick and mortar businesses. And it's all done on e-commerce, online. Everybody, my grandma orders stuff from Amazon. She's 80-something, 83, 84. Yeah. And so she's ordering on Amazon.
Yeah. E-commerce, dude, to his point, I'm Googling, and you guys should put it in, ecommerce.com. It's got a list price on the website of $35 million right now. $35 million. Lee Elberson is watching on LinkedIn. Lee, I know you have perspective you want to ask here for Kyle Miller. You should meet Lee Elberson. Lee Elberson and you guys would get along famously. Where do you think the metaverse is going to go?
Well, see, I wish
obviously, no one knows but Mark.
Right.
Questions about NFTs coming in. Okay. I will ask that question, but all
right, so
metaverse.
I feel like people want to escape from this reality, right? And I think there's a lot of people that are going to be in there. There's going to be having. I think it's completely real. I think more time will be spent in that. Look, you got Oculus, you got all these 3D games, you got all this stuff happening. They have EA Sports where these guys are making millions of dollars playing video games. There's arenas being sold out for video games. And I only know this because of my son.
No, he's 100% right though. Yeah.
And I'm like, what? I didn't even know about this world. There was a guy, I think his name is, my son will get mad at me if I don't get it right, but I think it's Mr. Beast, right? If you look him up on YouTube.
Mr. Beast?
Yeah, Mr. Beast.
Okay, I'm going to look him up right now. Keep going.
And this guy, look up the Squid.
Which son is this?
Squid Game.
This is your 10-year-old?
My 10-year-old.
Okay.
Look up Squid Games.
Your 10-year-old is going to freaking.
I'm learning stuff from him, and I'm like, how did that guy do that?
He's going to be the man. I already can tell.
And he shows me. He's like, Dad, this is what he did. He did this, and then he made it this way, and then I'm like, I'm learning stuff from these guys. They're smart. They're smart marketers. But if you look up Mr. Beast Squid Games video, I think there's over.
Okay, I'm doing it right now.
Yeah. I don't want to misquote.
Squid. So YouTubing is what you. Okay. Squid Game. Okay, here we go. We're doing it right. You want me to look at the views, right?
Yeah, the views on the video.
Let's see here. Jeez Louise, dude. 213 million.
I think he had something like 40 or 50 million views within the first 24 hours of posting that video.
Mr. Beast on YouTube has 89.5 million subscribers. And someone that has 89.5 million subscribers on YouTube is making tens of millions of dollars just off his YouTube channel.
Why?
Because of impressions and eyeballs. Because you can put, advertisers can put call to action messages in front of these 89.5 million people. And these people are so sticky on Mr. Beast's content, they will watch that 15-second pre or post roll clip to continue on Mr. Beast's video. And that's why this content on social and on YouTube is even more valuable than, say, the content on the news.
Yes.
Because in a 30-minute broadcast, 22 minutes of it is news, and you may care personally about 2 minutes of it.
Yeah.
But if you're watching Mr. Beast and you're one of his subscribers, you are clinging to his or her every word.
And and the dude is an awesome marketer. He if you look at it, they've done some behind the scenes videos on how he made that video and how he was able to keep people's attention in the clips that he made and how he just like jumped into it, started explaining the game. It is fascinating on how he did that.
Give me some cliff notes.
Well, all right.
Jeez, I'm learning from you right now.
Yeah. So what he did, instead of like, so that video with the first Squid
It's
Games,
like video crack.
yes. Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Well, what he did was instead, there's a lot of YouTube guys out there that'll just go into the video, and the first 5 minutes of the video are kind of like boring. And he started out, guys, boom. And he was hard hitting with the content, and he started showing exactly what's going on. And then after he did that, he backed out and started explaining a little bit. So he did like 2 minutes of hard hitting, like get you excited, get you intrigued, get you hooked, right? He gave the hook and then came back and then kind of started explaining how they were going to do this game and then kept going, right? And so like just the different ways that he was doing it. And you know, how they catch your attention on how many times they cut different scenes from, 1 second, 3 seconds, 5 seconds, how many cuts keep your attention. That's why if you watch a video or if you watch a movie or you watch something, they're always cutting. To give you a different perspective. It's that dopamine that's hitting in your brain, and that's what keeps you engaged. But what he did on that video, my son showed it to me, and I was like, oh my God, this guy's phenomenal.
Jonathan Rivera, podcasting entrepreneur, watching in Orlando, Florida.
Yeah.
As we speak. So that's 8 states and 2 countries on the show here. NFTs.
Yeah.
You buying?
Jonathan Rivera, right there.
Yeah? Talk to me about Jonathan Rivera.
Jonathan Rivera, he's the podcast factory, and I got to share this with you too.
Please.
But Jonathan Rivera is buying NFTs. Now, NFTs have all these different aspects, right? And so they have different genres, different cartoons. I don't know a lot about it, to be honest with you. It's just more time that I'd have to put into that to learn more. But there's guys that do, and Jonathan's one of them. And actually, I think he's got a business. I think it's called 33, I believe. And what he does is he buys and sells NFTs. He trades them. So he's trading them because he knows he's in a niche, right? Niche, whatever, however you want to say it. That he's able to, he knows what he's buying, he gets out of it, and then sells it and buys the next one. And so he turns them. So he's a good dude. He's out of Orlando, Florida. He's actually in my masterminds that I'm involved with.
Comments coming in. We're 70 minutes in. First time I looked at the clock, we're 70 minutes in. Testament to Kyle Miller, who's dropping knowledge on the program here. You got $1,000, $10,000. Best way to make a buck and return on that. How do you do it?
Invest it in yourself.
Woo!
That's the honestly, if you have any money, $5,000 if you're investing in, I mean, if you want to, crypto is the fastest way. If you had $5,000 to spend and you had money to learn or grow from, that's what I would do. If you only have $5,000, like start learning, because the education, the knowledge that you're going to learn, you're never going to get rid of, and you're going to have that through the rest of your life. So that's a massive investment. I pay a lot of money to go to different masterminds and
Put
learn.
that in perspective.
A lot.
Can I ask?
Yeah, it's $35,000 a year.
He spends $35K a year to go to mastermind groups.
One of them.
Tell him what masterminds are.
A mastermind. So it's individuals. I think there's 35 guys in this group. 35 guys in this group paying $35,000 a piece, and we all are business owners. We talk to each other. What's good in business, what's bad in business, how we grow, how do we improve, what do we see coming up in markets, what are opportunities that we could take advantage of, different things like that.
So these, a lot of these videos and photos you're seeing of folks like Kyle that are on Instagram or Facebook, like he loves to ski.
Yeah.
You go Utah?
Yeah, Colorado and Utah.
Colorado and Utah. These dudes are working.
Yeah.
Now, the perk of these trips at these sweet spots, was Park City one?
That's one of no.
Okay.
We were just in Esmeralda, or how do you ever say it? Right below Key Largo, Florida, in the Keys, last week. For 3 days.
So they're gaining acumen, and then they're blowing off some steam after the mastermind.
Well, we're building relationships, so it's not necessarily steam. We're a bunch of guys. We get together. We talk about business. We grow business. We improve personal relationships, and we do that in the morning. And in the afternoons, we go do kind of like a fun event, and we just sit there. drink some beers, talk about business, talk about improvement, build relationships with other individuals, and then we take those relationships and then back home to our markets and we grow there, and we all win.
So this question's come from Alabama.
Jesus.
Do you expect a realtor base? So you're blowing up. People are seeing on the show over there. Are you expecting a realtor base to spring from metaverse transactions?
I don't know. Maybe. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity in anything that you do, right? I think just kind of understanding, and this is where it goes into investing in yourself, because nobody really knows what the metaverse is. And if you spent a good, I would say, 15 to 20 hours just learning about the metaverse, you would know more than 99.9% of the people out here thinking they know.
Easily.
And so when I say that, invest in yourself, invest in the knowledge that you're going to gain from that, and then you can capitalize that on any market that you're going into. You're going to know more. You spent 15, 20 hours in crypto, you're going to know about crypto, learning crypto, not just watching BitBoy on YouTube, but actually understanding how the process works. What's a white paper? What's Grayscale? What's Uniswap? What's all this stuff, right? And when you do that, you're going to be able to take that and leverage your knowledge and make money off of that. So if you had $5,000 and you put $4,000 in your education, you put $1,000 into the crypto market, and you knew more than other people, you would be able to scale that $1,000 higher than anybody that just put $5,000 into the market.
Dude, I could spend hours with this guy. What is your take on 4-year degrees? Colleges and universities.
I think the only thing about, I think the degrees, unless you're like going for an attorney, a doctor, some specialized aspect of that, I think maybe you need those. But I think the biggest thing right now that I believe is colleges is the network. And I think relationships go much further, because you're going to develop those relationships in college, and then they're going to go out and do their own thing, and then you're going to have those connections for the rest of your life, right? So, and if I were to do it over again, I'm not sure if I were to do it over again and I didn't have the football scholarship, and you know, you could redo life, so it's not even worth saying. But I would advise somebody, if you're not going to play sports, you're not doing anything like that, go to like the most prestigious school that you can go to, because I think the connections that you're going to get from that are going to be worth more than the education you get from the college.
There's a lot of truth to that. The power of proximity.
Yeah.
The power of proximity is what he's talking about. What is your take on trade schools?
Oh, I love them. Let's go to school and actually learn a skill that can be used in the market.
And you can get paid during school while learning, and not come out $250,000 in debt.
Yeah, you come out and you have like $120,000 or $90,000 in debt for a liberal arts degree. I don't even know what that is. I don't know what you use it for, and I'm not trying to be negative to anybody. Yeah. I just don't know what it's used for. It's never come across in my life. But somebody who goes to a trade school and learns plumbing and learns electricity and learns those trades, you can come out and start running a business and make over $100,000 a year.
Kyle Miller's biggest regret in life as a businessman. We're not personal, businessman.
As a businessman, biggest regret. Probably not believing in myself sooner than I should have.
What does that mean? Not starting?
Yeah, not starting as quickly as I should have. And I feel like I got started pretty.
Yeah, you started early. Yeah,
but I still feel like, Kyle, you could have gone in and done this. You know, like not getting started early enough. Like, so if you have those thoughts, if you have that stuff going in your head right now, I want to start a business. I want to start a business. Don't effing wait, right? Like, go out and start it right now and do it.
Worst business decision you've ever made?
I don't think I've ever made a bad business decision, because when I did make a bad decision, I learned a lot from it.
Okay, how would you characterize the business decision that is not as good, or at the lowest on the good scale? And then I'm going to ask you the best one too. So
okay. The best one is just believe in myself that I could do it.
Okay.
That's the best one.
Yeah.
I mean, if you believe
not a piece of real estate.
No, it's not a piece of real estate, because the real estate comes and goes, right? It's educating myself and learning how to use that information that I have coming in.
Give me the worst one.
The worst one was not believe in my gut. because I made the decision that I did, and my gut told me no, but my brain overrided my gut.
Was that a piece of property?
No, it was a relationship. I didn't, like my gut, from the very beginning, my gut said no, don't do it. And this was years ago, right? Was no. Like, I got a bad feeling off the bat, but my brain, this guy, had everything that I wanted, I suppose. And so that was the thing. And so I didn't listen to my gut. The gut has the most nerve endings in your entire body, right? And so it feels everything. It feels energy. And I got bad energy, and I disregarded it. But I learned a massive lesson from it.
Can a guy with your mindset be a founding partner with other people?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Listen, if you know like a business.
You can start with a team, a company.
Yeah. Yeah.
With your mindset.
Yeah.
Because you're very much pioneer, very much balls to the wall, 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Very much, as you've identified, trust your instinct. I know I'm right. Let's go with it.
Right.
I would think, I'm asking, that deferring perspectives that are different from yours, that's something that you gotta, digest. And
if you can come to me and tell me, like, if we have our different perspective, I'll respect you for your perspective, like that, because that's what you believe in.
Sure.
Great. I'm not going to hold anything bad. I'm not going to hate you for it. Like, I'm not going to not do business with you.
I know that.
Yeah.
But you like calling the shots.
No, if somebody's smarter than me, if somebody, like, I'm going into a business that I don't know anything about, right? I know a little bit about, and I know spreadsheets, and I know the numbers on that, but I don't know how to run it day to day.
Yeah. Then you'll go.
I'm relying on them.
There you go.
But I feel like I have good feelings about it.
Dude, you're a breath of fresh air. This second time he's come on the program. Many people are asking where the show will be archived. We'll archive it on iloveseville.com and wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, live streaming to all of them. Final thoughts, closing words for everybody.
Well, one other thing.
Please.
And I know we've been going for a while.
Yeah.
I apologize.
No, dude, please don't apologize. It's been my pleasure. It's been my pleasure.
I'm starting a podcast.
Oh, very nice.
Yes, and it's called Life on the Rocks.
Okay.
And so what this podcast does is I'm interviewing people who have gone through hell in their life or gone through, like, had really rough times.
Okay.
Like one of the guys that I interviewed was a construction worker by trade, got out of that, got into real estate, lost it all in 2007 crash, and then built it back up from his in-laws gave him a house to stay in to where he didn't have any cash, and then built it back up, and now he's making hundreds of thousands a month, right? So what is the mindset, the determination, the decisions that you had to make in those time frames and push through and be successful? And so that right there is something that I want to share with people, because I think we can all learn a lot from it, because we see these big successes with business and we see, oh man, this and that, this guy did this guy did that, but there's a lot more stories that are out there that aren't, that you don't know the backstory of. You just see the success where they're at right now, but the trials and pitfalls that they've gone through in their entire life.
The process.
Yeah. I want to share that. I want to share the process.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and the process ain't sexy, and the process is grueling, and the process, speaking from firsthand experience, will test you in ways you've never been tested before.
Yeah.
And there is a lot more darkness and despair than people actually realize.
Dude,
would you say you agree with that?
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of hardship in entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of, being grateful and thankful for it as well.
Scotty Morris giving you some props on the program right now. We love you, Scotty Morris. That's another Fluvanna, one of Fluvanna's finest, watching the show.
Yes.
Dude, excellent work.
Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
It's our pleasure. Kyle Miller, guys, Kyle Miller. We try to bring you engaging perspective on this network, and I think we do it on a day in, day out basis. Judah Wickhauer is our director. My name is Jerry Miller. The I Love Seville show, where we don't just showcase the best of Charlottesville. Today we showcased a perspective that could apply to anywhere on the globe. Thank you for joining us. We are back tomorrow at 10:15 a.m. with the Today y Mañana show, and then the I Love Seville show at 12:30. Take care. Bye-bye. Dude, you killed it.